Have you ever felt a betrayal so deep that your entire body goes numb? When adrenaline says hit or run. Because right now, I'm in a hospital corridor, staring at the doors to the ICU, wondering if I'm losing my mind. Yesterday, I had a normal life. A wife I adored, 2 kids excited for our upcoming vacation. The usual challenges that come with marriage and parenthood. Nothing I couldn't handle. Today, everything has changed. My wife and I got into a brutal car accident on an icy road. She's in critical condition, hooked up to tubes and monitors, half sedated. I should be in there, terrified for her life, praying she pulls through. But here's the twist. I just found out she's been cheating on me. So tell me, how do you even begin to handle this? Do I sit by her bedside, holding the hand of the woman who lied to me for who knows how long? Do I walk away and let her family deal with the aftermath? I don't have answers. I'm choking on rage, heartbreak, and a sense of duty all at once. And the worst part? If not for that crash, I would have never known. I'd still be playing perfect husband while she kept her secret. Now, I'm stuck here, knees shaking, waiting for a doctor to say whether she'll survive the night. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Could you feel compassion for someone who shattered your trust? Or would you cut all ties, even with her lying broken in a hospital bed? I can't talk to anyone in real life, so I'm pouring this out here. Maybe I'm just looking for one person, anyone, to say I'm not insane for feeling what I feel. Because right now, I'm not sure where the line between anger and pity even is. I've barely slumped into a vinyl chair in the waiting room when someone calls my name. At first, I think it's another nurse, but the voice is too loud, too hostile. It's Taylor, my wife's best friend, someone I used to consider a friend too. She looks pale, her hair still dusted with snow from rushing inside. "Where the hell have you been?" she demands, stepping forward. "Megan's lying in there with half her bones broken, and you're just out here on your phone?" I feel my jaw tighten. Just minutes ago, I was in Megan's ICU room, forcing myself not to scream at her for admitting she'd been cheating on me. But I'm not about to spill that bombshell to Taylor right now. I needed a second to breathe, I mutter, standing up. It's been a rough night. She narrows her eyes. Rough night? I'd say so. Megan's family is frantic. They can't get a straight answer on what happened. And you? She stops, noticing the look on my face. Alex, what's going on? You look like you want to punch someone. I take a slow breath. If only she knew. Ask your friend, I say too sharply. She's the one with secrets. Taylor's brows knit together. Secrets? She glances around like she expects me to be more specific. When I offer nothing, she huffs. Fine, just come see Megan. The doctor said she might regain consciousness enough to talk soon. She needs support. The knot in my stomach twists. I want to support Megan physically. God knows she's in rough shape. But how can I stand by her side, knowing she betrayed me for months, maybe years? Still, I follow Taylor back toward the ICU corridor. My phone vibrates. It's my dad, asking for updates, but I can't handle that call right now. As we approach Megan's glass-windowed room, I notice a second figure at her bedside. A man in a wrinkled coat, pacing, hands jammed in his pockets. I have no clue who he is. Taylor stops short. Who is that? She whispers. My gut churns. Could it be the other man? Before I can speak, he looks up. His face is tense, eyes bloodshot as if he hasn't slept. The moment he spots me, something dark and panicked flares across his features. For a second, nobody moves. The beep of Megan's heart monitor ratchets the tension even higher. I step in first. Who are you? He hesitates, gaze flickering from me to Megan's unconscious form. Finally, in a shaky tone, he says, I'm Ryan. I'm a friend of Megan's. I came to see if she's, okay. A friend? Sure. My breath comes in short bursts, anger simmering. Taylor glances between us, uncertain. Before I can grill him further, an ICU nurse barrels in, scolding us for crowding the room. She's stable, but we can't have so many visitors, the nurse says. If you aren't immediate family, please wait outside. I fold my arms, glaring at Ryan. I'm her husband, I say, feeling the words scrape at my tongue. Ryan nods nervously, like he's stepping on a minefield. Taylor pulls me aside, her voice low. Alex, do you know this guy? He looks like he's about to faint. No, I reply flatly, but I have a guess. At that, Taylor's eyes widen. She steps away to let me handle it. I approach Ryan, who stands by the hallway's wall, looking cornered. "So," I say quietly, my hands clenched at my sides, "you just happened to show up at the ICU in the middle of the night to visit a married woman you call a friend." He swallows hard, gaze darting anywhere but my face. "We had some things to talk about before the accident." Rage flashes through me. This could be the man Megan risked her marriage for. The man who might have stolen my wife's affections, if not more. My vision blurs for a second. A red haze of fury. Part of me wants to grab him by the collar and slam him against the wall, but a staffer pushing a cart of medical supplies comes by, and I force myself to stay in control. "You need to leave," I manage, voice shaking with the effort not to raise it. "Megan's sedated. There's nothing you can do here." Ryan's shoulders slump. He looks ready to argue, but thinks better of it. "Look, I just wanted to see if she was alive." His expression flickers with regret or fear, hard to tell which. Then he steps away, heading down the corridor without a backward glance. Taylor, standing a few feet away, presses a hand over her mouth. "Alex," she breathes. "What was that all about? Does Megan know him from work, or—" I close my eyes. My pulse is a thunder in my ears. "You want the truth? I think that's the guy she's been sleeping with." Taylor's hand drops. "No, that's impossible." But the look in her eyes says she suspects otherwise. She starts to speak again, maybe to argue, but a nurse peeks out from Megan's room, waving me over. "Sir, your wife's awake for a moment," the nurse says. "She's asking for you." My stomach somersaults. I can feel Taylor's stare on my back as I move to the door. This is it. A confrontation I can't put off any longer. Megan, conscious enough to talk, presumably to apologize or spin some tale. And me, bursting with questions, demands, raw anger I've never felt in my life. Stepping inside, I see Megan's eyes flutter. She looks dreadful, bruised, bandaged, tears leaking from the corners of her eyes. When she notices me, she mouths something. "I'm sorry." My chest constricts. I want to unleash every bit of hatred on her, to shout about the man in the hallway who apparently came to check on her. But her lips tremble, her face contorts in pain, and she utters a barely audible plea. "Don't leave me!" Somewhere in the back of my mind, I hear the beep, beep, beep of monitors, the hum of hospital lights, the scuffle of nurses' shoes. But all I can focus on is the tear sliding down her cheek and the gaping canyon between us. Taylor stands at the doorway, watching, and that man, Ryan, is probably exiting the building, maybe for good, maybe not. I take a shaky breath, leaning in, not sure what I'll say. My hands ball into fists at my sides. I want answers. I want her to feel the heartbreak she's inflicted on me. I want to burn everything to the ground. But for now, she's barely holding on, and the nurse is waiting to see how I'll respond. "Megan," I whisper, my voice catching. "We're gonna talk, but not here." Her eyes widen with fear or guilt, maybe both. Nothing's resolved. Nothing's better. But this is happening. This is real. And there's no dodging it. As I step back, letting the nurse do her job, I realize I'm not just dealing with a tragic accident. I'm dealing with the scorched remains of a marriage I thought was solid, and from the look on Megan's face, she knows it too. I'm shaking like a leaf as I step out of Megan's ICU room. The nurse in purple scrubs gives me a sympathetic look, but I can't take comfort from anyone right now. Half of me wants to scream at Megan for lying to me. The other half wants to shout at Ryan, the man who is pacing at her bedside. But mostly I just feel hollow. Taylor waits by the vending machines in the hallway, arms folded. She glances up when I approach. "Alex, what the hell is going on?" she asks, her tone subdued but urgent. One minute, this Ryan guy storms off. Next minute, Megan's halfway conscious and whispering she's sorry. How long has this been happening? I'm not ready to rehash the entire fiasco with her. "I don't know," I mutter, which isn't completely a lie. I found out about her affair hours before the crash, and now I'm here. Taylor's eyes widen. "You found out right before you spun off the road? Oh my God, is that why you—" I hold up a hand. "No. Some other car veered into our lane. We lost control. It's not like I was driving angry on purpose. Besides, let's not do this here." I tilt my head toward the nurse's station, where staff keep glancing in our direction. She exhales, looking torn. "Fine. But we need to talk properly, away from all these people. She motions to the elevator bay. Come on, let's get some coffee in the lobby. Megan's sedated again, so you can't see her anyway. Against my instincts, I nod. A few minutes later, we're in the hospital's ground floor cafe, which smells of burnt espresso. We grab a small table in the corner, the overhead lights glaring down. So, Taylor begins, stirring sugar into her coffee. Is Ryan like the other man? It's surreal to hear it phrased so bluntly. I tense up, images of him towering over Megan's bed flooding my mind. I'm pretty sure, I say. I only confronted him for a second, but yeah, I'd bet my life on it. Taylor's jaw sets. Megan never told me. She always played the doting wife, you know? I thought you two were the perfect couple. She bites her lip, eyes watering. Damn it, I can't believe she'd stoop that low. Anger flares in me again, sharp and cold. She did, and I'm the idiot who never suspected. Guess that shows how perfect we really were. Taylor fiddles with her coffee cup. I shouldn't say this, but if you want me to rip into her when she wakes up, I will. I shake my head. Appreciate the offer, I say dryly, but I'll handle it myself. My phone buzzes, and I glance down. It's a text from my mom, checking if I've told my kids anything yet. They're worried, Alex. I push my phone away. I'm stuck, Taylor. My kids have no clue their mother was hooking up with some stranger. Megan's half dead. Ryan acts like he's got a right to see her. I can't protect everyone from the truth forever. Taylor starts to reply, but we both look up as footsteps echo across the lobby. Megan's father, Mr. Brooks, strides in, hair disheveled, face etched in fear and anger. He zeroes in on me. Alex, he says curtly, where is my daughter? I just talked to the staff. They said you've been here all night. I stand, noticing the tension in his posture. He's always been polite with me, but that was before everything collapsed. She's in ICU, Mr. Brooks. She's stable for now, but I pause, uncertain how much to reveal in front of Taylor. He glances at Taylor, then back to me. Her mother's losing her mind trying to figure out what happened. You two were supposed to be on vacation. And now this? What are we missing? Taylor looks at me pointedly, as if asking, are you going to say it? But I can't just lay out Megan's infidelity in front of her dad right now. Instead, I speak carefully. The crash wasn't her fault, I begin, but we, had an argument beforehand. It got heated, that's all. His eyes narrow. Heated about what exactly? I glance at Taylor, silently begging for backup. She clears her throat. Mr. Brooks, let's not push Alex while Megan's still in critical condition. He's been through a lot. He exhales, rubbing his temples. Fine, but I want to see her. He gestures toward the elevator. Where's the ICU wing? Taylor stands to guide him, leaving me momentarily alone at the cafe table, my coffee untouched. My heart thrashes in my chest. Now I'll have to deal with her parents, who might blame me once they learn the truth. Or worse, they might beg me to forgive her. I don't know which scenario is worse. I toss the coffee cup in the trash and follow behind them. When we get to the ICU level, a nurse intercepts Mr. Brooks, explaining Megan is under sedation again and not fully conscious. He storms off to talk to the doctor about her condition. Taylor hovers next to me, subdued. Look, she says quietly, I can go if you want. I came here to make sure Megan was okay, and to figure out why you seem so distant. Now I see you have every reason. Thanks, I mutter, but I won't be great company right now. She gives me a gentle, apologetic smile, then squeezes my arm. Call me if you need anything. Megan's phone is destroyed from the crash, so I guess I'm the only contact outside her parents. Keep me in the loop. I nod, and she leaves. That's when I notice my own reflection in the glass panel across the hall. I look like hell. Pale, eyes red-rimmed from lack of sleep. Is this who I am now? The husband who found out he was a fool. The father who can't figure out how to protect his kids from the ugliest truth they'll ever face. A door opens behind me. The ICU. Megan's father steps out, massaging the bridge of his nose. He glances at me with a mixture of confusion and anger, then jerks his head for me to follow him to a quieter corner of the corridor. She's stable, they say, he begins, voice shaky. But the doctor asked if there was any emotional distress that might interfere with her recovery. Did something happen between you two? My throat tightens. Here it is. The moment I either feed him a watered-down lie or open the floodgates. I can't hold his gaze. Something did happen, I manage. But I don't think it's my place to tell you right now. Let's just focus on Megan's physical recovery, okay? He looks torn, ready to press further, but a nurse appears, beckoning him to sign some forms. He throws me one last frustrated glance. I watch him go, vaguely relieved I don't have to spill everything yet. Moments later, my phone vibrates again. My mother, calling this time. Taking a breath, I step aside and answer. "Alex, honey," she says gently. "We've kept Dustin and Mia busy with board games, but they're worried about Megan. They keep asking if you two are still leaving for that vacation next week. I'm not sure what to tell them." I close my eyes. Vacation. A distant fantasy. My voice quivers as I respond. "Tell them. Something came up. Megan's hurt. We'll explain in a day or two, I promise." My mom hesitates. "Please come home to rest soon. You can't help her if you collapse." I swallow a sob that threatens to rise. "I know. I'll head home soon." Hanging up, I slump against the wall, exhaustion pooling in my limbs. Ryan's abrupt arrival, Taylor's confusion, Megan's father demanding answers. It's too much for one morning. A part of me wonders if it would have been better if Megan hadn't survived the crash, so I wouldn't have to face this betrayal day after day. Then I instantly hate myself for thinking that. No matter her sins, she's still the mother of our kids. At last I rub my face and force myself to stand upright. I need a plan. 1. Figure out how to handle Ryan if he comes back. 2. Decide whether to tell Megan's parents about the affair. 3. Call my lawyer friend just in case. 4. Go home and talk to Dustin and Mia before they sense my resentment toward their mother. But first, I need to see Megan one more time, even if she's sedated. Because this might be the only moment I can look at her without unleashing everything. A nurse catches my eye, nods that it's okay to enter quietly. I step inside the ICU room. Megan lies there, lips parted, chest rising and falling under layers of bandages. For a split second, all the anger drains away, replaced by a familiar pang of love or pity or heartbreak. Then I remember Ryan's face, and the rage coals flare again. She looks so fragile, and I feel so broken. Neither of us is who we were yesterday. Our entire marriage shattered along with that windshield. Whether we can ever piece together something salvageable, I genuinely don't know. I stand there for a long minute, letting the machine beeps fill the silence. Then I grip the rail of her bed, leaning in just enough to whisper, though she likely can't hear me. "Megan, you lied to me, and I'm going to find out exactly how long this was going on. When you wake up, we're talking. No more secrets. No more lies. If you want me in your life, you'd better have a damn good explanation." My voice cracks. Pulling back, I run a hand through my hair. I half expect her to stir, to mumble something in protest or apology, but she stays still, locked in sedated sleep, unaware of the emotional war tearing me apart. Eventually, I turn and walk out. No nurse tries to stop me this time. My mind replays Ryan's tense face, Taylor's wide eyes, and Mr. Brooks's anger. I suspect things are only going to get worse before they get better, if they get better at all. And as I exit the hospital's automatic doors into the cold morning air, I can't help thinking, if not for that accident, I'd still be blissfully ignorant. But fate doesn't care about bliss or ignorance. Fate just blindsides you, leaves you to pick up whatever pieces remain.
End of part 1. If you are interested in what happened next, let me know in the comments.